Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Guys. I'm CEO and founder of WinningStockTrading.com and Winning Stock Trading LLC. I'm excited to announce the launch of our company, WinningStockTrading.com, which we've been, or the launch of our website, I should say, which has been in the works now for a number of years. The purpose of this video, real quickly, is just to share some key things that I think you need to be aware of. If you're in the stock market, if you have any investments tied to the performance of the stock market, I think you need to know whether or not, there is real trouble ahead. Now, the fact is this: I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball on when the market's going to correct. And by looking at our site and reading some of the information, you'll find that I don't claim that I do. With that said, I do believe that a crash could be imminent. Whether it happens now or whether it happens in a month or 6 months or 5 years, really doesn't matter. What matters is what's your plan for protecting your assets prior to the next crash. Unfortunately, most Americans don't have a plan. So, and that's a mistake. What Wall Street tells us to do is just to go ahead and leave our money in the market no matter what. What goes down must come up. And while that may be true, it doesn't mean that's the best way to manage your money. So you need to understand how you need to manage your broker. And if you have an interest in learning how to, invest or trade on your own, that's an opportunity as well. Quite frankly, you don't need to spend a lot of time or effort in terms of, managing your broker. But if you don't manage your broker, nobody else is going to. You have to think of him as an employee or her as an employee. They work for you. And, unfortunately, it's sad to say, but it's true. 90% of the people out there who have Series 6 and Series 7 licenses, they just don't have the knowledge they need to protect you. And that's a fact. They're salespeople. Their job is to sell and to earn commissions or to earn fees based on assets under management. I know this because at one point I was an investment advisor. I'm not an investment advisor now, nor do I have the desire to be. But what we're doing with our company is we're issuing information which members can subscribe to for a modest monthly fee, and which can help them not only protect their assets and that are related to the performance of the market, but also take advantage of opportunities that present themselves in the market as they occur. So we have a number of products and services, but it's important that you take a look at our site today, and here's why. I did a back study on the S&P 500 for the past 87 years. What I did is I traded it forward day by day, and then I customized my rules and put together a plan that, had it been in place since 1928, it would have protected investors from every single major market crash since 1928. Now, while past performance is no guarantee of future results, contrary to what what a lot of people believe and what people on Wall Street want you to believe. There is an opportunity to protect your assets before the crash. Red flags do show up, and the most often we can have an alert is once a week after Friday or on Friday after the market close. And between 1928 and 2015 now, we've had approximately 110 alerts. I have to go back and count them and update my notes because they've been in the file since 2012. But one thing I can say for certain is this: in the 87-year history that I studied, or 84-year history that I studied between 1928 and 2012, one thing is absolutely certain. There was never more than 3 weeks in a row with a market alert. Well, we're setting a new record. We're now at 7 weeks and counting. It may even be 8 weeks. I haven't had the time to go and really check it, but we have 7 to 8 weeks, straight weeks with an alert. So that's something that's never happened before. We have issues going on around the world. Anything could disrupt this market and cause the next major correction or even market crash. And if you're not prepared for it, and you have assets that are tied to the performance of the market, you're making a big mistake. We all know who Warren Buffett is, or most of us know. He has two rules. At least the two famous ones I'm familiar with are Rule 1, don't lose your money. Rule number 2, don't forget Rule number 1. Now, when I say we're going to protect ourselves and you can protect yourself, I don't mean you should sell your investments. I don't mean that you should do that for two reasons. One, typically that generates commissions, especially if you're in a mutual fund. And then secondly, or even an annuity, you can have surrender charges. And also, because of the fact that you could cause yourself some tax implications. And so none of that makes sense. What makes sense, though, is buying insurance, or as the smart money crowd on Wall Street does, is it makes sense to hedge your stock market portfolio to protect yourself against declines in your retirement accounts. And so that's what we're going to talk about. This is an important message. Share it with friends and family after looking at our site if you like it, and think some of it makes sense. Do us a favor, help us share this message before it's too late. Plus us on Google Plus, like us on Facebook, and connect with us on all the other major social media platforms. And it should be noted that by doing that, you're going to have an opportunity to make significant income with little to no effort of your own, through our affiliate program, which we'll be launching in the next day or so. So in any event, thank you so much for watching. I know this went a little bit long, and I know you're probably busy, but it's time well spent that you spent if you're still listening to this. Have a great day. God bless. Thank you.